Now on 97.3 The Fan.
All righty then, we head into the Thursday program. Voice seems to be making more and more of a comeback. Gwynn and Chris on 97.3 The Fan. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr. idle today. But Mr. Skraby's alongside for the next couple of hours. We'll be chit-chatting about what is going on out there and getting you ready for a pretty good Thursday night football game. The Dallas Cowboys all of a sudden back in the hunt in the NFC, taking on the surprisingly mediocre Detroit Lions. Surprising, yeah. I think most people thought you hate the Lions.
No,
but,
I picked them to win the division.
But most people thought the Lions would not only win their division easily, because nobody expected the Packers nor the Bears to be this good. Many people thought the Lions would be in the Super Bowl after just missing out the last couple of seasons, but it has not worked out that way so far for Detroit. We'll see what happens tonight. Honestly, I think the loser of this game is in, big trouble.
Yeah, they are.
Right? Dallas has worked itself back into contention, but they can't really afford to lose this one. Detroit already is behind both the Packers and the Bears, and they play each other Sunday. So if the Lions lose, they're going to lose ground to somebody. Anyway, good game coming up to kick off Week 14 of the National Football League tonight. We've got Kirk Kenney, our guy from the San Diego Union Tribune, popping by for a little college football talk. I was going to say back and forth, the conversation continues here between, college football people talking about whether Miami or Notre Dame ought to be in the playoff. But it really, truly isn't even a back and forth. It's one-sided. Other than Coach, Marcel Freeman from Notre Dame, I've not heard one person anywhere beside him who said, yeah, I think Notre Dame ought to get in over Miami. Nobody thinks that, except for the people that are on the committee doing the rankings. It is a 100% to nothing vote in the court of public opinion. And both teams do not play this week, so it's not going to change. They're both going to finish 10-2. And, with all of the other comparisons, the hammer belongs to Miami because they beat Notre Dame. But here we are, waiting to see how it's going to turn out next week. I did find it interesting that the people on the committee are starting to hem and haw and say, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they said, even though neither team plays this week, the rankings could still switch up, which makes you sound even stupider than you already sound. Because how could the rankings change when neither team plays?
Here's what I don't get about the whole situation. We all know that college football is broken, so why are we so angry at college football
maybe
being
this
broken?
Is what we need to have happen so more people understand how broken it is. I think it's broken more than just in, how they're selecting teams for the playoff. It's broken in terms of, what's happened with Lane Kiffin and what's happening with the NIL and, things just running away completely out of control. And apparently, Skraby, nobody really in charge of the situation. You know what I mean? Like there's no one person out there, head, point man or point woman who's saying, no, we need to get this fixed. We need to figure it out. There has to be a way to compensate the players, but in a more equitable way. And, there has to be a better way to choose who's going to go to the playoff. I will duck this in because we attempt to never be political because you don't tune in for that. But Marco Rubio, who's one of the lieutenants, on the administration for President Trump, said today, you will either laugh at this or you'll say, hey, Marco Rubio said that if Miami does not get in over Notre Dame, that next year President Trump should be in charge of it.
Well, that's the second time that someone has put President Trump in charge of college football.
I think what they're trying to say, I think what Marco Rubio is trying to say is if nothing else, President Trump overseeing it probably would put a little bit of a hammer down on everybody to get it right. And they're not getting it right. And this is really
I also think the president has better things.
I hope he has better things and more important things to do than decide who the 12 playoff teams are. But anyway, the point is, this is, it's not even like we have situations in sports where there's one side and then there's another side, and you may feel strongly about one side over the other. And so you're making your case. You go, I think this, blah, blah, blah. But this isn't one of those. This is 100% over here and 0 over here.
I think I'm not even. I don't.
You
care.
don't seem to care, but you should.
I don't care
you
because,
should
and the reason I don't is because
you like fairness, though.
I like fairness, but nothing
is
fair about college football. If this was the only thing broken, then heck yeah, I'm behind it. Let's go. But we got way bigger things to figure out in college football right now. I understand this is for the national championship. They should get it right.
They
It's
absolutely
a big deal.
should.
There's lots of money on the line for these teams and players.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Obviously, there are some conference championship games to be played this weekend. Maybe there'll be a couple of upsets. Maybe that'll turn things upside down, and maybe it'll turn out, the way people think it should turn out. But Kirk Kenney will join us nonetheless. The Aztecs, of course, are not playing this weekend after they themselves got computered. Conscrabiseed, you say.
Yes.
Out of the Mountain West Conference Championship game. I think if you're listening to the show right now and you're in Boise or you're in Las Vegas, first of all, welcome to the show. Second of all, you probably should be listening to your own stuff.
Yes. No, they don't care. They want our stuff, Chris.
My point being is, if you're in Boise and UNLV, you think this sounds like sour grapes, but I don't feel it's sour grapes when you point out the fact that Boise State has beaten nobody out of the conference other than Appalachian State. Boise lost to the Aztecs. And then on the other side, UNLV, which finished in a 4-way tie, right?
Yep.
Did not beat any of the other 3 teams.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Didn't beat any of them. So how they chose those 2 and how it seems to be very much accepted.
So was it
the Aztecs themselves, again, maybe they think it's going to sound sour grapes and they know they can't change it. But I wouldn't mind hearing Sean Lewis or somebody scream from a mountaintop a little bit, feeling like we got hosed here.
Wait, was it a choice between Boise State and San Diego State, or the other way around? Or was Boise State, I don't know the divisions and all that, because the reason I'm asking is, if that's the case, heads up, or
no, head to head,
San Diego State won.
Okay, so. Well, yeah, you sound like you don't know what you're talking about.
Because I was asking you,
and you don't.
Okay, well, that's mean.
I know.
Take it back.
All right, take it back. There's one division now in the Mountain West, right? So they're all in the same division. All 4 teams finished 6-2. Now, had all 4 teams played each other, then head to head would have mattered.
Okay.
The bottom line is the Aztecs never played UNLV at all.
Yeah.
I don't think Boise played New Mexico. Anyway, whatever it was, they had to just choose it by computers because everybody didn't play everybody. That is what it came down to. And the computers spit it out that UNLV was the best team, Boise State was the second best team, and then the Aztecs, and then New Mexico. Now, I mentioned that because UNLV was on top and Boise State was second, according to the very ranking that they went by.
Yeah.
However, the championship game is being played in Boise. They're second, UNLV's first.
Nothing makes sense.
Their reason for that is that, Boise State beat UNLV head-to-head, so they should get the game. Well, no, they shouldn't, because head-to-head didn't matter in this process. And now you're telling me that the computers decide who's best, but then you're coming in after that and saying, okay, now we're going to go with head-to-head. The people running the conference, the whole sham of the system ought to be more exposed than it is by just me talking about it. And I haven't really seen a lot of complaining. The Aztecs, I think, have every right to be in this championship game ahead of both teams. And I know I've gotten so many tweets and texts from people, I think who are connected to Boise State when I put it out last week. And they're saying, well, you guys had your chance. Yes, the Aztecs did. They should have beat New Mexico. They didn't. But you know what? Boise State blew its chance when it lost by 30 points at Fresno.
Yeah.
UNLV blew its chance when it lost to Colorado State, a team that did not win another game. Okay, so why didn't that matter? But the Aztecs losing their last game in double overtime, I might add, why did that matter if the other two didn't matter? There's a lot of reasons for San Diego State to be angry, and I'm not feeling the anger.
Maybe they're just like,
from me.
Maybe they're just like, hey, we're out of here. Next year, we're not going to make a big deal. We're just going to go on our merry way and never deal with it again.
But that's even more reason to make a big deal on your way out of town.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like money involved.
They can't do much to you next year once you're gone anyway.
No, they can just make fun of you forever.
Make fun of me?
Nothing.
You can make
sense.
fun of me all you want. Let me play for the championship. You can make fun of me. Let me play for the title.
Nothing makes sense in college football. And it just seems like you can do whatever you want in college football now.
They do. No, you look, Skraby, the bottom line is you're right.
I don't want to be right because I want it to be fair.
And the bottom line is the Aztecs blew the game against New Mexico. There's no two ways about it. Penalties took them out of it. And, they left it up to somebody other than themselves. And as you just explained, if you do that, college football, you might get hosed.
Yeah.
And that brings us full circle back to Miami and Notre Dame. Because Miami did not leave it in the hands of somebody else. They beat Notre Dame. Yet, it's still going against them.
Brand name.
All right, let's go to some sports that is college basketball on the up and up?
It's better than football.
It's better than football. We'll talk about the Aztecs win last night over Utah Valley in a game that absolutely defies explanation. How in the world the Aztecs won a game when two of their starters did not score?
Oh, yeah.
And the other three combined for 18 points. I don't know that I've ever seen a team win a game under these circumstances before, but the Aztecs did, and it was important. We'll talk about it and keep you up to date on everything else. Padres, football, Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan.
Tony Gwynn Jr. turn. That'll happen. They're really sure. There, go, go. Oh, you idiot. Typical tandem student right there. I tried. I wrecked your good job, buddy.
At 4:20 today, a couple hours from now, we will announce our biggest fan. Chance for that winner to qualify for a night in the Odyssey Suite at a future Padres game with the entire fan staff. You know, you win that and you go on the Ben and Woods trip next year to Wrigley, you can end up seeing 2 or 3 games with those guys.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
You know what I mean? They're
That's
going to
true.
be best friends with
Yes.
Ben and Woods.
Yes.
Register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. Pretty simple to register, right? You just
Yeah.
click that,
Yeah.
put your name in, and then wait for your name to be called. And you might end up winning this thing.
We've had a
So,
good week with callbacks. We're 3 for 3.
most people who enter the contest do listen for their name.
They do.
And we appreciate that. Again, 4:20 is your time for the biggest fan announcement today. Gwynn and Chris on 97.3 The Fan. Tony is idle for a couple of days here. A couple of quick notes of interest, maybe to you. J.J. McCarthy will come back for the Vikings, apparently. He's cleared protocol. You know what? That's actually good news for anyone watching football. Because if we had to watch Brosmer again, like that's not even NFL football.
JJ McCarthy's not better.
Yeah,
Well, he
not
is
better.
Okay, sorry. He is better, but he's not
Well, people
fun
have given,
to watch.
People have given up on JJ McCarthy, I think, far too soon. We'll see. He'll be back in action against Washington this week. A big injury for the Eagles Monday night against the Chargers. Jalen Carter's out. Remember who Jalen Carter is? He's the guy that spit in the face of Dak Prescott
yes.
before the season ever even started.
Oh.
And if you remember in that game, once he went out of the lineup, Dallas ran up and down the field. So the Eagles are not the same team. They haven't been the same team anyway, but they're going to be without him. That may help the Chargers out. Justin Herbert, the broken wrist, is still going to play.
Yeah.
You got to say that that's being pretty tough. I know it's on the other, not the throwing hand, but you can still get tackled.
But think
in
about the
NFL
taking the
game.
snap.
Or, yeah, right, just taking the snap.
I don't think he's going to be under center at
I
all.
bet he'll be in shotgun.
The entire time.
Yeah. Chargers, Eagles, that's Monday night. Baseball-wise, nothing major. Ron Washington, the old, and I say old, he is old. The Angels manager, 73 years
I
of
worry
age.
about this.
I think this is a good spot for him. He's not fully in charge.
That's
you know,
true, but it's
gonna
still
be
the rigors of a baseball season on a
Nah,
guy.
he doesn't have the same rigors. He's just going to be a bench coach alongside the new manager of the Giants, Mr. Vitello,
Yes.
Tony Vitello, long lost relative of mine.
Prince Vitello, remember?
Vitello. If your name is Vitello, we have to be related in some way. But anyway, let's get to the Aztec basketball.
Well, Padres signed a guy, Chris.
Oh, yes. Give me that.
I know it's not the biggest name in the world, but we were asking for signings.
We need anything, yeah.
Ty Adcock has been signed for a 1-year contract. He's going to be a reliever in the pen. Now, the
He's
reason
going to be a reliever in the pen. Interesting place
no,
for him.
He's going to be in the pen.
Yeah, where else would he relieve?
The starters. I don't know. But I can't say any of these guys are terrible signings because AJ Preller proves that he could find some guys for cheap.
You never know. This guy might come in throwing BBs next year.
You never know.
Keep an eye on the name Ty Adcock.
Yes.
New reliever.
His full name is Tyler Nathan McKenzie Adcock. He's got 2 middle names.
More info than we needed on him, but
well, I'm trying to get everybody to know him a little bit.
That's very kind of you.
All right.
Aztec basketball last night. What a crazy game. It wasn't a crazy game. Like the Aztecs were up, and then they went to sleep right before the end of the first half. They gave up a 13-0 run. And so they went from 14 ahead to 1 point at the half. And then the second half, they quickly took control, went up by double digits, and they ended up winning by 11. So as far as that was concerned, the flow of the game wasn't exactly edge of your seat. But to win a basketball game when you're, All-American starting guard, supposed first-round draft choice next year, Miles Byrd, gives you 0 points and 1 rebound. Your other starting guard, Reese Dixon Waters, who is, great shooter, doesn't make a basket until the final 7 minutes of the game. He was scoreless through 33 minutes, as was Byrd. Harrington, the freshman point guard, scored only 4. Magoon Gwath scored 2 tip-in baskets in the first half and was not heard from again. Miles Heide got injured, took a big fall, went out of the game, only played 5 minutes. Anyway, the 5 starters scored 18 points.
How many did they score total?
77.
So
a job by Tay Simmons, the freshman. 15 points, 7 rebounds.
They got some good freshmen on this team.
BJ Davis lit it up when he came into the game, ended up with 18, and he got them going with a couple of threes early in the first half. Pharaoh Compton, although Pharaoh, well, let me say the good part. 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocks. That's a good game. But Pharaoh, you're 6'11". You're bigger than a house. When you're standing under the basket with the ball in both hands and no one's around you, you can't miss a dunk, let alone 2 of them.
Yeah.
That's just not acceptable.
I don't think he could do that if he tried.
Unbelievable. Yeah, right. You couldn't try to jump up and miss a 2-handed dunk, let alone do it again.
Yeah.
A minute or so later. But anyway, the Aztecs get what they had to get, which was a win. I thought defensively they're better. They're not where they need to be. I'm sure, Brian Dutcher and everybody will say that. First possession of the game, as a matter of fact, the Aztecs forgot what they were doing and left a 3-point shooter totally unguarded.
That's what Mark Ziegler said in his article.
And he
after
made
a week
shot
of defensive practice.
Yes, right. After this whole time, and the guy standing there makes it, and it's 3-0. But overall, much better defensively. Again, I'm not breaking down film, but I thought their transition defense was poor. And in transition defense, you got to obviously get back, but you have to get back and you have to find somebody to guard. You can't just run back and leave everybody open. And I thought a few times they got caught running back on defense and not finding the man. And Utah Valley is they're a decent club. They shot only 42%, which is 10% lower than usual. So I give that, credit to the Aztec defense. They were better in that regard. But yeah, I look, Miles Byrd is, my guy. He's been on the show. I have the ultimate confidence in him, but I don't think he has the ultimate confidence in himself right now. He's throwing up shots and he's hoping they'll go in. And, I wonder, again, I don't know the kid, personally. Ziegler could, give us a little more insight. But when you are going to go into the draft and then you decide, I'm going to come back, give myself another year, show what I can do, maybe move up.
Yeah.
That could be a lot of pressure on you.
It could.
Right? Because he was going to be drafted, but he, said, no, I can get better next year. You might be going out there just squeezing the trigger a little bit rather than letting it flow. I wonder if that's happening. I don't know, but 0 points, 1 rebound, that's not Miles Byrd.
I think it's an idea that I can get behind because if you are being rated as someone who's going to be drafted and then you go out and you play better, that's what's in your head. Okay, now I'm going to be a definite first round pick.
Well, but
now he can fall out of the draft.
He also has to play better in order to move up, right? They're not just going to move him up for the hell of it.
No,
he's going to move up in the draft if he plays to his level and capability. But that did not happen.
Do you
last night?
Do you think by the bench scoring 50 plus points or whatever it was,
59 points on the bench?
Do you think that's proving that there's an issue with the way the minutes are being distributed?
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. No, I think it makes it a bigger problem. I think it makes it worse.
Because you can't bench Miles Byrd.
No, you can't bench Miles Byrd.
Magoon Gwath, you're not benching.
You can't bench Magoon Gwath, and he's still getting into the feel. He doesn't look right yet.
Yeah, he was injured.
Okay. You're not benching Dixon Waters because he's your shot maker.
Yep.
You're not going to bench the freshman, Harrington. You just put him in. You could take Miles Heidi out maybe, but I think he's a important guy. Now, he got hurt in the game last night. But my point is we were talking yesterday, going from 11 down to 9 in the rotation. But that would mean taking one of these 6 bench guys out. And all 6 bench guys were great last night.
I guess it's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have, but it is a problem. Yeah, I don't think you could take any of those guys who played off the bench last night out. They all played really well, and you wouldn't have won without them.
You're right.
So, weird circumstance. We got to get Ziegler on so we can kick all this stuff around, and we'll do that. All right, Kirk Kenney will be on shortly. We'll get back into college football, the mess that is. And I'm just curious. I'm sure Kirk's talked to everybody. Are the Aztecs as angry as I am that they didn't make the football thing? So we'll get that from Kirk and more on Gwynn and Chris.
I actually got in trouble once when I worked at the bank for looking up a celebrity, and it was totally wrong on my part. Totally wrong.
Looking up their account number?
Just I searched their name in the account system. And
Skraby, what is wrong with you?
I was like 19.
You'd be better off. You'd be better off admitting that you wore your underwear inside out. Frankly,
This guy is just searching up people's accounts.
It only happened that one time because I got caught.
How did you get caught?
The account was flagged, and anybody taking a look at it gets logged. And so I got called into the boss's office like 3 days later.
What did that come? I'm sorry, I gotta ask, but nobody's supposed to be doing this preview. What did that conversation? How did it go?
Well, why were you looking up Paris Hilton? Is that who it was?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh my goodness.
I can neither confirm. That's really funny, Chris, that you just yelled out that name out of all names. No. But I walked in, I got called into the office, and I sat down, and all my boss, I loved her. She was great. Her name was Sharon. Amazing boss. She just slid the piece of paper in front of me.
You knew.
Said, "Did you visit this account?" And I looked. Yeah. She was like, "We're gonna have to write you up for this, and if you do it again, we're gonna have to fire you." And I said, "I'll never do it again." And I got out of there as soon as possible. Bam. I took everything, but it was not good. Not good.
Just curiosity, huh? He's like, I wonder how much they have in their account.
Yeah. I mean, before I got caught, I did look up athletes. And,
oh my God! I'm so glad you're sitting in this seat now.
Yes, I'm so happy you're not doing any job that can be dangerous to people's futures.
This was in the first year that I was there. I learned my lesson thoroughly.
Chris, as I said, as soon as they walked in, they was like, That's
That
our
window.
guy right there.
That's our window.
We're gonna take him down.
Yep. Just lucky I didn't get caught for like. I can't even say. I'll tell you guys off break whose account I saw
He's
and how
diabolical.
much money they had sitting in their checking account.
And this was how long ago, too, by the way?
Ooh, 2009, 10. Way before I became a good person.
Didn't Bank America end up getting in trouble? Or was that, it was one of those banks got in trouble?
all of them get in trouble
Yeah.
for selling information, but
Hiring folks like you.
I wasn't selling any information. I was just wanting to see what was going
Just
on.
curious.
I didn't check their account activity,
You
which I
just
could
check-
have been like, oh, they bought this here. I'm going to go up there. You know, I'm not that creepy.
Well, that's stock.
Oh yeah, you're not that bad.
I'm not that creepy.
This is amazing, by the way. We're supposed to be doing.
How are we supposed to do baseball picks into
I
these
don't think we can
circumstances?
anymore. I think we gotta push it. You guys never did it? Well, I mean,
No, Skraby, we didn't. We didn't do it.
Really?
okay.
Like you work at a bank, you looking at people's account information?
It only
That's unbelievable.
happened for a little bit, and then I got in
Only
trouble.
for a little bit.
I can't stop laughing at this because it is quite hilarious, Skraby.
But you were saying that I may have gotten robbed or whatever. I actually did get robbed when I worked in San Francisco, and they're called quick change artists.
how long did you work in the banking industry?
8 years. I was a teller supervisor when I finished. I was also the merchant teller, which took in around $150,000 in cash a day. Guess what? Always balanced at the end of the day.
Yeah, I bet.
But there was a guy who walked in. He had about $5,000 in hundreds, and he handed it to me. He said, "Can I get 50s for these?" And I said, "You know, it's pretty annoying that he wants
$5,000 in
hundreds.
hundreds.
In hundreds, and he wanted $5,000 in 50s. He just wanted 50s instead of hundreds. So I had to go get it from the vault. I come back. I'm starting to count it out, and then he's like starting to ask me questions as I'm counting it
He's
out.
trying to mess.
And then
What did I tell you, Chris? This is what I'm talking
Hey,
about.
That window right there.
Hey, this guy was so good that no one saw it coming. But so when I started getting mad at him because I counted out the 50s, he goes, "What are you doing? I asked for 20s." And I'm like, "What?
He tried
You
to
did not
play
ask
you.
for 20s. You asked for 50s, bro."
Yeah.
I had to go to the vault to get those 50s. And as I was getting all mad and talking to my boss, he took the cash off the counter and put it into this folder that he had on the thing that.
The original 5,000 in hundreds.
Yeah, well, he kept going like that. And then I was so mad, I just grabbed it and I threw it in my drawer. And then he was like, "You know what? I'm out of here." And he walked out. And
How
then at
much
the end
did
of the
he get from
day,
you?
$3,000.
He got an extra 3 on you.
$3,000. Yeah, he got
See,
$3,000.
The thing about criminals like that, they can sniff out a mark really
I'm
easy.
not a mark.
You are 1,000%.
I
a
was
mark.
actually the bank's
dog. They got you for 3 extra.
and that's the only time in my 8 years that I ever had anything happen like that.
I'm sure there are people who've been there 8 years and never had 0 taken.
Tony's idle for a couple of days. Skraby and I together here until about 4:30. Kirk Kenney will be joining us shortly. Talk a little college football. Also, we have our Gwynn and Chris overtime, which Skraby will put up on the YouTube
Yes.
at about 4:30
Yep.
today.
Correct.
And Tony's not with us, but sitting in for Tony, a Hall of Fame radio voice, Mr. John Flint from the morning show over at our sister station,
John and Tammy, San
KSON.
Diego's morning show on KSON.
Correct. John and Tammy. John Flint will be in, and we will be talking, all three of us. I think you guys will all enjoy it, or most of you will anyway. Our favorite subject, fantasy football.
Yes.
Because that was what really matters most. Like, we're going into the weekend. There's a lot of games,
Final week of the regular season.
for us in fantasy. But what I was going to say, you got NFL, you got some college playoffs, you got the NBA going, and, you got things to do with your family this weekend. And, it's coming up on the holidays. Maybe you got some shopping to do. I'm reffing a couple of basketball games. You're doing whatever you do. Anyway, we all have things coming up. But honestly, I only care about one thing this whole weekend, and that is that I somehow win my fantasy game Sunday and get into the playoffs.
That's a fair thought. I
Right?
mean,
Like the rest of
now
it.
or never.
Like if I'm in a deep depression Sunday night because I know I'm going to lose, and Lori will come, and go, "What's the matter?" If I say, Well, I'm kind of bummed out because I lost my fantasy game. That's not a good enough excuse for her.
Really?
Yeah. Like, you can't be down and out because of that. But I will be.
Okay, I'll give you this. You could be down, but you can't be out.
Right.
You could be down.
I honestly believe we have some dinner plans with some folks Sunday night. And if I'm sitting at the table like,
yeah, that's out. That's out.
she's not going to like that.
Now, down is when they go, hey, Chris, how's it going? Good.
Yeah, not
Good.
great. Yeah, what's the matter? Oh, I lost my fantasy. That's it? You lost your fantasy game?
And, hey,
what do you mean that's it?
Don't tell me that's it.
Right. That's more important than anything.
You didn't just go 14 weeks trying to win a championship.
I'm eliminated from the playoffs.
Don't ever
It's a
tell
terrible
me. Don't ever
feeling.
tell me that's it.
It's a terrible feeling. One of the worst feelings of the year is when your fantasy season ends, whether it be early or in the playoffs. And being as I've been, I honestly thought of this, Skrabe, while you're going out. He's got to go out and get Kirk. But this is my 40th, that's right, 40th year playing fantasy football. My friends and I, Chris Reedon, my old roommate, and I started a league. We got the scoring rules out of a book that was published. Believe me, this is far before the internet ever existed. They put out a book. Is in the mid 80s about how to play fantasy football. We took that book, we created some of their rules, we put in some of our own scoring rules, and we had a draft. And we had a season in 1986, if you can believe that. So this is my 40th year. I think I probably won, 4 or 5 times. I've been lucky enough to win. So that means the other 35 years, there's been a horribly depressing day in my December when my fantasy team was eliminated. I hope that doesn't happen Sunday. All right, Kirk Kenney's coming in studio.
Yes, he is.
And you're bringing with you
his bodyguard, he said.
Oh, he brought me. Is this really a sandwich? No. This is like a box. What is that? Oh, it's a toy. It's a Chick-fil-A something. Christmas ornament. Thank you.
I love it.
Give Skraby or give Kirk a microphone over there. There you go.
I did give him a microphone.
All right. He said he was having lunch in the area, and I'm like, where's the Chick-fil-A near us?
We had dinner at Chick-fil-A. We went to, can I say OG's on the radio?
Yeah.
So I guess
sure
I just
you
did.
can. OG's used to be a big sponsor of Sports Talk Radio. I don't know where you've been, OG's. Come back to us.
Stop
they will
yelling
now.
at
Maybe
OGs,
they will.
please.
No, OG's used to, when I was at other stations, they were we did a lot of shows at OG's, and yeah, I think they should come back
Okay.
now that you mentioned it. So how was lunch at OG's? Good?
It was very good.
You're not speaking enough into the mic, or I'm not hearing
Yes.
you well enough. I just want to make
How's
sure
this?
everybody.
Oh,
That's
there
better
we
now?
go.
It's a little better. Yeah, I just want to make sure
Mic
everybody
check.
can hear you. Kirk Kenney, of course, from the San Diego Union Tribune, and your bodyguard
His name is Mark.
Mark.
Yes. Mark wasn't prepared to talk, so
Oh, Mark's not going to talk.
yeah. Well,
He's just hanging out with us.
He's got to
just
keep his
hanging
head
out.
on a swivel.
Did he go to school at BYU? Because the last person you brought
I
in
knew you
here
were going to
went
ask that,
BYU.
and no, he did not. He went to UCLA, but more importantly, he went to Helix.
He's a Highlander
He is.
or a Scotty.
Yep.
Either one. All right, Kirk Kenney, here we go. You're off this weekend, at least for covering a college football game, because the Aztecs aren't playing.
I'm on bowl watch.
You're going to bowl watch. Yes, you are. I'll probably see you Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Because my wife is part of the Holiday Bowl thing, and they'll be announcing the teams. You'll probably be there.
Mhm. They guaranteed a buffet, so I'll be there.
A little free food. That's the only thing that's getting me down there.
Right.
Are the Aztecs, from Sean Lewis to J.D. Wicker, right on down through the locker room, are they as angry as I am? Because
Well,
I'm pretty angry that they got passed over here for the championship, or are they accepting it as best they can?
well, first off, I don't think anyone's as angry as you.
Okay.
Also, I'm pretty sure if they had won, that they would be going to the bowl game.
Well, we know that.
Right.
I get that.
So
But they didn't. But that doesn't take away
So
the
now
fact
you're
that.
blaming the procedure that has been in place. Everybody knew what the procedure was.
Okay.
Now,
Go ahead.
You can complain about the various ratings and how they're done,
Right.
but I think once they lost, it went about how I. So
Yes, I read your stuff, and
and
as soon as they
wrote-
lost, I said they're not going to make it
So
because
I'll
Kirk
tell you-
said they're not going to make
I'll
it.
tell you this: on Saturday night, I had a story ready to go for Sunday morning, and it, as I thought,
Yes, you
all I
did.
had to do was plug in the exact. Upset is New Mexico They beat UNLV and they beat the Aztecs, and they're sitting at home.
Well, okay. There's a couple of different things that I was upset about, and so I'll just address to you these. Because I get why the Aztecs are not making a federal case out of this. This is the rules that they are all applied to. But how did Boise State get ranked so high when you consider their best non-conference win was Appalachian State? The Aztecs have a better non-conference win than that.
Mm-hmm.
And Boise State lost to the Aztecs. And Boise State lost by 23 points to Fresno State, which I think cancels out the Aztecs' bad performance at Hawaii. So where does that Boise State get ahead? Because they lost to Notre Dame? Is that why they're higher in the computer?
I think that probably helped them some. I don't know
I don't
know what all goes into those computer rankings.
Okay.
And it's also interesting if you look at the 4 ratings that they took, they seem vastly different. I was told 2 are predictive and 2 are projective, something like that.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, well, I knew I should have had that 7th year of college.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Okay, so that's Boise State's complaint for me. And the UNLV complaint is much simpler. They tied with 3 other teams. They didn't beat any of them. How do you put them in? That's just not enough. You can't be in. You didn't beat any of the teams that you just got in over.
I think you're also trying to apply logic, and sometimes that's
okay. But isn't a computer supposed to be more logical sometimes than me?
Yeah.
All right. Let me give you one more, and then we'll move on.
He's not getting the answers he wants from anyone today.
No, he's answering exactly
I just
the
think
way.
if you have the chance on the field, you can take every. Now, I would argue. I thought that there was a pretty bad call when the Aztecs had an interception.
That was
and they called pass interference,
and that could have given them the ball right with a chance to win.
They would have been on the 29. Either take it in for a touchdown or the way
field goal to win the game
is. That's pretty good chance for a field
that was
goal.
Bad. All right, here's my last thing on the complaint about the conference.
Mm-hmm.
They and everybody else decided the computers will determine who's best.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The conference, Aztec signed off on it. Boise, everybody signed off on it. Correct me if I'm wrong. The computers had UNLV first, Boise second,
mm-hmm.
Aztecs, New Mexico.
Correct.
If we are beholden to the computers, why then is Boise State getting to host the game? I know because they beat UNLV, but that shouldn't enter into it because head-to-head shouldn't matter. The computers should matter.
Well, they try and go head-to-head first. The reason it wasn't head-to-head and they went to computers is because not everybody played each other.
Yeah, it makes it. Okay.
Well, next year I guarantee
it's laughable.
I guarantee you will not be worried about how the Mountain West figures it out.
I understand that, but I don't like
Chris.
it. Yes.
Would you rather
you don't have
toss?
to raise your hand, you can just ask.
Oh, sometimes I do. Sometimes
yes, he does have to raise his hand.
Would you accept a coin toss over a computer selection?
No, I want a computer that makes some sense that I can look at.
Okay, that's not it. You get this computer or you get a coin toss.
I want to be able to look. Well, okay, if you're going to go with the computer, then UNLV should host the game because they finished number 1.
Right.
But you're not just going with the computer. You're letting me the computer, and now you're deciding that head-to-head matters. But before the computer, head-to-head doesn't matter, so San Diego State's win over Boise State doesn't count.
Head-to-head doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's crap. I don't like it.
So angry.
I'm totally
I get why you're angry, Chris. I really do. But
I think I'm making a pretty good case. It's not going to change anything, and I get that.
I would indict in a grand jury from what you just presented to me.
The Boise State, look.
I don't think you could ever win.
Look, the Hawaii game was a nightmare. I get it. But Boise State had a bad loss as well. So that to me is even.
Well, the Washington State loss, I'm sure, hurt the Aztecs as well.
Okay, but the Notre Dame loss and the South Florida loss helped Boise State.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's stupid. So you're telling me if the Aztecs could have.
But they're better teams.
All right, so the Aztecs, well, it's too late now, but the Aztecs should have scheduled Alabama and Indiana the first 2 weeks. So if they lost by 100 points, they would get a higher ranking from the computers at the end.
I'll pass that along.
Pass it along.
I like that idea, though. Let's bring Alabama in.
Yeah, I'd like to play them.
That's
actually.
fine. I don't care if it's
all right.
like
Go back to the
55-0.
game Saturday. You're totally right. I think they blew it. I'm not even asking for any other explanation. I thought the call was missed on that one, but they also committed a dumb penalty on a wide open touchdown where they lined up wrong.
Right.
And then false start 3 straight times. That's not easy to do, but they managed it. and left, poor Denegal in a 4th and 35 to try to tie the game. So, and the other part is New Mexico fumbling on the 1 yard line and giving them new life. And then the next play, they give up a touchdown.
Right.
So they only have themselves to blame in that regard. And I agree with that. So how do they come back from that? And what's Sean Lewis's message been?
Well, I think they have spent the last few days trying to process it and deal with it. And then you just kind of, they've taken this week off. They'll find out their bowl assignment on Sunday.
Right.
And then you just get going again, crank it up again. I mean, you can't, obviously you're disappointed with the loss, but there's not much they can do to change that now. So you may as well move forward and look ahead.
But you can learn.
Well, and he did say
things.
that,
Okay.
everything's a learning experience.
Yeah.
And he's said that.
Lucky Sutton really had a great year. I think what really hurt this team was losing Napier. That is so tough when you have
and Bostic, and they lost the other one, Bostic,
the other receiver
who was very good. And
so, but when you had
some
both
of the load
them,
off,
when you had both of them, they were scoring 30, 40 points a game. And then one went out and they were scoring 20 or 25, and then both went out. And now Lucky's running against the stacked deck, right?
Right. And
So-
and Denegal has been dealing with injuries throughout the year too.
Yeah.
So if they had all stayed healthy, it would have been interesting to see where this offense is right now.
It would have been a lot better. What are you hearing for the bowl? I've read a lot of predictions that say, Idaho this year. We haven't been up there in a while. What else is in the running for them?
I think I've seen about 8 different services with 8 different bowl
Oh, okay.
games.
All right. Well, they give me a few
The
other.
most likely, I think, would be either Boise or Arizona Bowl. And then in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there's about, I think, 19 bowls around
Yes,
there.
there are
And
the
I think
Frisco Bowl.
there's a
and
good
the this
chance to end
bowl
up
and
in
the
one of
that
those bowl games because ESPN always gets in the mix. They own, I think, close to half the games,
Right.
and they end up, wagging
Is the
dog.
Arizona Bowl now off the Barstool Sports world?
Yeah,
because
it's
I remember
Snoop Dogg.
JD.
Now it's Snoop Dogg.
See, JD didn't want to play in a game because of Barstool
Right.
Sports. By the way, JD, here. I think Barstool Sports is just idiotic. And what they did with their bowl game was idiotic. And I'm glad that the Aztecs said, no, we're not going to do that. So I credit that. But
So
now that it's the
an
Snoop Dogg Bowl,
it's a Snoop
we
Dogg
don't.
alcohol. I forget which alcohol it is. If it's gin or
So we might
something.
play for Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
All right.
I love how these bowl names have become like the Snoop Dogg Gin and Juice Bowl now. Instead of like the old school days when each had like a real name. Now it's just whatever sponsor.
What, the
pays
Rose
them.
Bowl or the Orange Bowl or
Yeah,
the Tangerine
Sugar
Bowl?
Bowl,
The
whatever.
Weed Eater,
Eater
like that better?
Bowl and Weed Eater Bowl.
I do like the like motorcycle or lawnmower Gasparilla Bowl.
You like that one?
I've been trying to get the Holiday Bowl to get the Holiday Inn, and it'd be the Holiday Inn Holiday Bowl.
Ooh, that rolls off the tongue.
It does.
Pretty good. Holiday Bowl will choose Sunday morning. We'll make their announcement. Everybody else also Sunday. And the Holiday Bowl this year is after New Year's for those that are, haven't made that connection yet. All right, I'll give you a shot at the national championship playoff and your Notre Dame Miami thoughts for how it's set up right now. You're probably not as mad as I am, just like on the other side.
Chris
but
is like furious.
yeah, I'm
about
furious
this.
about this, and I don't even care about
I know.
either team.
It's so weird.
I've had Notre Dame. I'm an AP voter. I've had Notre Dame higher for several weeks.
Okay.
And yeah, I know they lost. Here's the thing that gets interesting. So we get to this point in the season, there's going to be some team that beat another team that then beat another team.
Right.
And like with Oklahoma, they lost to Texas.
But they beat Alabama.
Right. So how do you rank those 3? And everybody's going nuts because I think Texas over Oklahoma, but then I had Alabama over both of them. And I just think Alabama's better. And I think Notre Dame.
Do you think Notre Dame's better?
I think Notre Dame's better than Miami.
Apparently the computers they don't have computers for that. They have 12 people they lock in a room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
including guys who have teams in it. No, that was just
that was college basketball.
Sorry, that was college basketball. The North
Remember
Carolina
last year
guy.
when the North Carolina guy
Right.
had to leave the room,
Yeah, he stepped out.
so that he could get a $1 million bonus.
But he had his face pressed up
North-
against the glass.
Yes.
Point at
Please
people.
put us in.
Kirk, I know you wanted to also talk about, you texted me this yesterday, but National Signing Day was yesterday.
Correct.
And you were saying that signing day is dead now because of the transfer portal.
I didn't say dead. I said it's not Christmas Day anymore. It's more like a
Veterans Day.
I was going to say birthday party, but maybe
Okay.
even that makes it a little bit too much.
Right.
It's a birthday party, but not Chuck E. Cheese. It's at a park with like Shasta Cola.
Shasta Cola. Wow.
I like.
Do you remember that stuff?
Yes, I do.
That's when the family, you were at a birthday party and the family was really skimping when they gave you a case of Shasta
Or
Cola.
Craigmont, or
Yeah, that was not.
Anyway,
All right,
okay, it wasn't dead. It's not dead, but it's not the same anymore.
Correct.
Like who's the signing day for now?
Well, I mean, and it's still. In fact, I kind of looked this up on the way in. I think a third of the Aztecs' current starting lineup is guys that they got from signing day.
So that's a decent
So
percentage
it's one
in this day and
component.
age.
I think Sean Lewis portrayed it a pretty good way. I think signing day is like the NFL draft, and the portal's like free agency.
Okay, I can give it. Yeah, all right, that makes sense to me.
How close or how far is college football from maybe putting in a rule that makes some sense? One that I've heard many.
Never ever.
Right. Okay. Because I've heard a lot of people say, all right, we've got way too much toothpaste out of the tube, but maybe we can set it up where if you want to take a lot of money, fine, but then you're not eligible to transfer. But if you don't take all that money, then you can you can't have both, is what people are trying to install. And that would keep a guy from going 3 million here, 4 million here, 5 million here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Can the NCAA even think about it? And is there enough leadership there to ever make something happen in your estimation?
Well, I think we're heading toward where these guys are going to sign contracts that have some teeth to them. So if you do decide to leave, here's the consequences.
Okay.
But it's funny how all that lags. Reason always lags reality.
Right.
And
Good point. Good one. Good line, Kirk. Write that down somewhere.
Reason always lags reality.
Yeah, that was good.
That was deep.
I like
Yeah,
that.
and then tweet
It
it.
was deep.
It was.
Deep
was a good
Thoughts
one.
by Kirk Kenney.
Yeah, it's good. Jack Handy.
Not the boy, the father of the man.
All right. So you think that? Yeah, I don't know. Now
I don't know.
Now
We're
he's
going
beyond
gun
me.
smoke.
That's actually
deep
no.
cuts.
That one's from Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
You know it's an old show when it's just called Kung Fu.
That's what it was called. Yeah, and I'm not shocked that Kirk was watching it. All right.
Now we're totally off track.
Yeah,
we're
last
always
thing.
off track.
We got one more game in the bowl, and then Pac-12. Where are we at in terms of excitement and the whole thing? Where does that kind of stand right now, and how will things change, or in our world,
Well,
or if at all?
All right. I don't want to poop on the parade too much. but
Okay.
In my mind, this is more like Mountain West 2.0.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. A lot of people are saying that.
In the 40 years I know the Aztecs have been trying to get to the Pac-12, I never once heard them say, "Man, we're going to get to play Oregon State and Washington State."
and Texas State.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. It was all about bidding in with UCLA and USC and
Right.
Washington and Oregon. I get it.
On the other hand, I think you have taken out some of the teams that probably were in the lower part of the Mountain West, and so you're going to have a little bit better schedule.
Right.
But we'll see. They still have to figure out a couple of their games on the schedule, and we'll see that probably next month or so.
Pac. Is it going to be called the Pac-12 even with 9 kid teams in it, or
Yeah, well,
whatever?
How
Yeah,
many
I
are in
know.
the Big 10 and the Big
Yeah.
12?
No, I don't know.
That's true.
They're
I don't know
math
how many.
challenged.
There's like, I don't know, 16 teams in the Big Ten. Who knows?
I don't know how many.
No one knows.
Kirk Kenney, you're the best. Thanks for coming in and bringing me my Chick-fil-A trinket.
Thank you very much, Kirk.
Very kind of you.
It set me back $8, but you guys are worth it.
$8.
Thank you. That is actually a lot.
I'll tell my wife in the Holiday Bowl to feed you Sunday morning.
All right.
That'll be my way I get back for you. I'll see you at that.
All right.
Thanks for coming in, Kirk Kenney. More Gwynn and Chris.
Thanks, guys.